Urban myth or truth? Beethoven met Mozart in April of 1787 when he was on his first trip to Vienna. He was 16. We'll never know for sure. But it's tantalizing to think that these two giants of music might have actually shared a glass of punch or played a game of billiards or exchanged a few musical tips. What we do know is that Beethoven loved Mozart's music, so much so that on two separate occasions he wrote sets of variations for cello and piano based on themes from Mozart's opera, The Magic Flute. Though they may have never met in real life, they meet this week on the inaugural concerts of the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra's 70th season. Our brilliant concertmaster David Coucheron joins Robert Spano and the Atlanta Symphony for Mozart's Violin Concerto No. 5, written in the sunny key of A major. There's also a bit of political history insinuated into the finale of this concerto. The Austrian Empire and the Ottoman Empire had a hateful relationship. The Ottoman Empire is what we now call Turkey. By the time this concerto was written in 1775, the Turks had attacked Vienna twice in preceding centuries. And the military bands of the Ottoman armies were filled with jangling cymbals, triangles, and drums. And Mozart recreates these sounds in the finale of his concerto. Ever after, it's been called the Turkish Concerto. We'll conclude these concerts with the Beethoven Symphony No. 9, the Choral Symphony. By 1822, when Beethoven started working on this symphony, he was totally deaf, frequently unwell, but famous and beloved. Not unlike many other Beethoven works, the Fifth Symphony, the late piano sonatas, the late string quartets, this symphony can be described as an emotional journey from chaos to the sublime. The first movement sets the tone, with a mysterious beginning that erupts into fist-shaking energy. The equally energetic second movement, with its pounding timpani and skittish rhythms, is a meteor in sound. And as gigantic as the finale can be, for me, the slow movement, the adagio, is Beethoven's most genuinely heartfelt symphonic utterance. In just 15 minutes, we're transported into a place of peace and calm that reminds me of the words I heard often as a child in the memorial service of the Greek Orthodox Church. Give rest to the soul of your departed servant who has fallen asleep, in a place of brightness, a place of refreshment, a place of repose, where all suffering, sorrow, and sighing have fled away. But there is that finale, genuinely unique in all artistic creation. Not just because it was the first choral movement in a symphony by a major composer, but because it is a manifesto, the likes of which had never been expressed in music before, and whose power has yet to be equaled. Beethoven took an idealistic poem by Friedrich Schiller, added words of his own, and it begins with an orchestral scream, a version of pain in music. It's as though Beethoven is trying to cram creation and the day of judgment all into one sentence. But quickly, he works through the mortal suffering and arrives at that moment where the bass soloist commands us to listen to the story that he has to tell of universal brotherhood. From that moment until the tumultuous ending of the movement in the symphony, we are levitated ever upward as Beethoven brilliantly builds his argument for universal brotherhood and understanding. And he leaves us in no doubt as to his own personal faith in a merciful God who motivates this journey. Schiller's final words, and Beethoven's setting of them, are thus: "Be embraced, you millions. This kiss is for the whole world. Brothers above the canopy of stars must dwell a loving Father. Do you bow down before him, O millions? Do you sense your Creator, O world? Seek him above the canopy of stars."